and welcome back to my channel, Java with Ali, and I am Ali, and today we are going to talk about generic methods. So firstly, I'm going to go through some overloaded methods and an example and how we use generic methods, and this is just an introduction, so we're going to keep it very short today, give you a little break from all of the previous algorithms that we covered, and we're going to have a look at overloaded methods now. So if we take this as our overloaded methods class, and we have three different types of array. We have, of course, we're going to use the integer class wraps a value of the primitive type int in object. So we're going to use an integer type array, double, and character. And this is our iterator list. So there are multiple ways of declaring an array. Please check out the array videos if you're unsure about that, but there are multiple different ways to declare an array, or declare it and initialize. So we have our iterator list here for integer array. We have a double array as well, and we also have a character array. And when we go down here, this is our main method, so it's our main thread to go through it. We have system out printf, and we're going to just print out the contents. Then we call three different types of methods. So the thing about overloaded methods is you can have the same method name. So here we have print array, but we have a different type associated with it. So this takes in our integer. So we pass through here our integer array, which is up here. So when I highlight it, you can see integer array has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We pass through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. Then we use our enhanced for statement. If you're unsure about the enhanced for, check out that video as well. So it iterates through, we take our input array, then it stores it in each of the elements, and there's no counter loop with the enhanced for. You don't need a counter because we're not using a counter in this instance. So it's just going to print out our elements and then a space, and the same with our double and our character, which is really nice, but it's quite verbose in terms of code. So we have our array integer contains, double array our character. So with generic methods then, we want to be able to shorten everything down, just maybe have one print array, and then by convention we use the letter T to go with this. So I will write that out and I'll show you in a second how it looks like, but usually you use the letter T to go with it. So we have T here instead of integer. So let me just write that out. So now I have replaced the type, generic type here, with T using a diamond operator, which we also use the diamond operator as well for array lists. So you can see here it's a generic type. We put this here. There are three different places where we've changed it. Here where integer was previously, and also where integer was here. And I have left the others in the commented section below to show the difference. So the way the generic types work then is that with an overloaded method first, with an overloaded method, it always checks the name of the method and then locates that method and checks the type. So then we have all generic method declarations have a type parameter section. So that would be the T here. By convention, it's T always. And delimited by the angle brackets or the diamond operator that precedes the method's return type. Each type then parameter section contains one or more type parameters separated by commas as usual, which when we use other types of arrays, that's types of input for the methods, that's normal as well. And then a type parameter, also known as a type variable, is an identifier that specifies a generic type name. So a generic method's body then is declared like any other type of method body, as you can see here. So print array, nothing was changed in the previous parts of the code up here. Nothing was changed at all. It's just the lower part. So a generic method's body looks the same. Type parameters can represent only reference types. So no primitive types. If you're unsure about the difference between reference types and primitive types, please check out the earlier videos. Long story short, you can identify them in multiple ways. A reference type usually starts with a capital letter, so string is actually a reference type. It's a reference to an object. So is integer with a capital I, double with a capital D, and character in this case with a capital C. They are our reference types. So we're referencing in an object which contains multiple values in this instance. Also, the type parameter names throughout the method declaration must match those declared in the type parameter section. So element as type T, which matches the type parameter, then a type parameter can only be declared only once in the type parameter section, once it appears in the method then. So that's our introduction for today. There's also good programming practice involved. So T is our normally the letter T is usually used for type, E for element, K for key, and V for value. So we've already seen key value values in the key value pairs in previous examples as well. So type parameter names need not be unique. In method print array, T appears in the same two locations in the overloaded print. So here. So then obviously it references then our integer, our double, and our character, but we've only used one method to pass through it. So wherever this method is called, print array is called, we have an integer array pass through, a double array pass through, and a character array pass through, and it's all printed out on the screen, which is really nice. It's a really nice thing to do. So if the compiler then cannot match a method call to a non-generic or generic method declaration, a compilation error occurs as usual. When the compiler encounters the different types of arrays, then we print it out into that. So there's also erasure that happens. So there's also this. So when the compiler translates generic method print array into Java bytecodes, it removes the type parameter section or replaces the type parameters with the actual types. So this removes it, erases it, deletes it, and then replaces it with the correct type. So this is kind of, and I'm afraid to say this really, but if you think of it like this, it's not necessarily accurate, but if you think about it like just a placeholder, it's just a placeholder, and it's going to swap in and out integer array, double array, and character array with the actual type, like so the actual types being character, integer, double. So this process is known as erasure, not the band, for those who know about erasure being a band. So by default, all generic types are replaced with type object. So compiled versions of the method then only have one copy in the code, which is used in the print array then, and this is just an example. So that's it for today. Thank you. Next video is out next Sunday, and happy programming. Bye.